Hello everyone, it's Rad. Welcome to Radko Tarot channel, and this video is going to contain a general tarot reading, and for that reason, as general tarot reading, the reading itself is going to relate to different subjects and situations and is going to manifest itself in a different way with every single different person. Now, in case you are interested to know about specifically about your personal situation, you can check out my website, which is listed here in the display, or it is as well shown in the description of the video. And there you are going to find, visiting it, you are going to find on a very front page full list of my services as well as their pricing, starting from just as little as $12 for the recorded readings and $15 for the private call readings. Apart from that, if you want to see me live, or you want to contribute with an event on me, you can check out my Facebook page, which as well you can see here on the video or in the description down below, and consider sharing and subscribing the video, because this is a one-man operation and your support does helps a lot. That being said, I want you now to lay back comfortably and enjoy the show. Okay, so this is going to be Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, and Capricorn Rising. Monthly tarot reading for July 2019. And bear with me a second, guys, to shuffle the tarot cards. And we can jump straight away to the reading. Alright, so the first card, which stands for the topic of Capricorn's month, that is going to be the Justice card, followed by the second one, which stands for the peripheral activities here for Capricorn. This is going to be the Eight of Pentacles. Afterwards, what we have is the challenge that Capricorn needs to overcome throughout the month. This is going to be the Devil card. Then what we have, it's the positive aspect of the month, and this is going to be the Hermit. And the last one that we have is going to be the guidance for Capricorns for throughout the month, and we do got the Lovers card. Wow. All right, so it's a 4 out of 5 major arcana, so it's a pretty important month for what it seems. But let's go one more time through the all 5 cards. The first one, which is the topic, once again, is going to be the Justice, followed by the second one, which stands for the peripheral activities. That will be the Eight of Pentacles. Then it is the challenge here, which is quite baffling that we do have the Devil card, really. Yeah, but it is the Devil. Then it's the positive aspect here of the month, that is to be the Hermit card. And then the last one is going to be the Lovers, which is the guidance. And as I said, it is a baffling. Actually, the Devil and the Hermit are very tightly connected here into this reading. So pretty much the month, it looks like that is going to be a confirmation for a go thing, all right? That's a go green light or something. It doesn't matter. And well, it does matter, but it's going to be a green light about something. If you are expecting a confirmation or a sign, that you have to do something in your life that you are either reluctant to do, or you kind of face any predicaments to do, you are to have those things dropping off, which means the predicaments or the reluctancy. And then what happens here is that you have to you have to find the right way to do it, okay? And that is the tight connection in between the Devil and the Hermit. It's very peculiar. It's very powerful, if I might say it that way, because you can't do the things very wrongly here, while there is a way how things can be done extremely with a surgical precision, if I may express it that way. But we're gonna get that into this in a minute, and let's first discuss the very first card, which is the topic of the month, and that will be the Justice. So the Justice here, what it does says, it says first of all, the most trivial interpretation, justice, law, and order are going to be in place. So which means that whatever is going out of the ordinary for you, well, it's going to be set back into its place. But on top of that, guys, the Justice is all about being accountable, not only toward the situation, into your marriage and into your career or into your friendships, but accountable toward oneself. So meaning that if something doesn't suit you well, then the month itself is going to be a month where you are going to sort that thing out one way or another. Because even though you have to be accountable toward the situation, the Justice screams out that you need to be accountable first and foremost towards yourself. Okay, and that could be a thing that you are going to realize, no different than, for example, that you're giving way too much from yourself to the others, while in the same time you are neglecting yourself, you're neglecting your needs, you are neglecting, you know, the states of your family, you're neglecting your career. No different than if you are toiling upon a very important project that is a big deal for you, you know, and suddenly some colleague of yours comes around and say, hey man, can you help me with my thing? And because you are way too kind to say, I'm busy right now, you know, and I can't because all my time and efforts are devoured by that important project, you say, yeah, sure, and you completely neglect what is important for you to sort out what is important for somebody else. So that thing is going to be totally over. You are going to think, or you are going to start thinking first and foremost for yourself, because you are to recognize what is substantial for you, and this is the tight connection in between the Devil and the Hermit. The accompanied card is going to be the Ten of Wands here, and the combination, it is a active friends that we do have. So as I said, recognizing what is substantial, and as well where the awesome opportunity lies in front of you. An opportunity which, I said it already, it does require a lot of toils, as you can see how the guy toils here, and a lot of time, and how can I place it, and efforts as well. And it will require a certain consistency of moves. You cannot just do the things the way you want to do them, if I may express myself that way, but there is an established rules and ways of how you know, you can achieve that substantial thing of yourself. No different than, let's say that you and you have an ex-wife or an ex-husband, it doesn't matter, but you are still married on paper, and you are having a beautiful relationship with someone else. Well, you may want to be married, right? But first you have to get divorced. So it's not about what you how you want to have what thing that you want, all right, but it's how can be achieved, all right? And it's that thing that you are going to recognize, and this month is where you start structuring the appropriate and the right moves, how you can make that thing reality, right? Then we go to the peripheral activities, and we do have the Eight of Pentacles. So aside from this major breakthrough, I mean mental breakthrough that you're gonna have, on top of that, guys, it seems that you are gonna have an opportunity to start initiating something that took a long time to develop, you know, but it is yet not substantial for you. So we do have two parallel big endeavors that you are going to push throughout the months. One that it is, like I said, substantial, and one that it is not that important. So it's very important that you do have your time managed correctly in between those two endeavors. This one here that is marked with the Eight of Pentacles most likely will improve significantly your standard of life, your comfortability as well, you know, and how to feel yourself cozy and somewhat fulfilled, aside, you know, from the big endeavor here that you are going to try to figure out how to make it as best as you can. The accompanied card here is going to be the Knight of Swords. The formation, it is a passive enemies that we do have. So pretty much this is gonna go quite easy on you here with these cards, because really there won't be anything that you're gonna struggle figuring out with that peripheral big endeavor of yours. It's going to be pretty straightforward, and whenever you have the time to attend to it, you just do it. Whatever you don't, you simply put it to linger aside, and attend to it when you have, like I said, a free time. It's not going to be a thing that you need to kind of like yeah, it's figuring out, but it's not going to be a rocket science. Is what I'm trying to say. It's pretty narrow, it's pretty straightforward, and whenever you have a time for it, then if you feel like it, you can actually attend to. It's no different than, for example, having a hobby for a business, but it's not your major business. So whenever you have a time for it, then that's pretty much good. I mean, you are pretty skilled in it, as we can see with the Eight of Pentacles. You do have these eyes for the subtleties, and especially with the Knights of Swords here, it doesn't look like that there's going to be a situation where you are going to be baffled or reluctant to do anything there. So yeah, it does look like, guys, that it will be a peripheral activity and peripheral thing that you're going to feel quite confident about. And then we go to the challenge, and that will be the Devil. So the Devil is about a very strong push here. And now I am also interpreting this card in a conjunction with the Hermit, because they just go side by side here into this reading. And with the Devil on a challenge, it is because you finally discover, and figure out the substantial thing about you. For example, not being happy into your marriage, or being happy into your marriage, or being happy with someone else, or having this project that you need to push really through. That gives you, the power to really do it at will, okay? And as I said, there is a particular way how that thing should be established, and how that thing should be pushed forward. And it all comes to patience here. The challenge itself is to resist the urge or the surge, of the power that you're gonna have to make it happen, at least for the time being, because there is more intelligent and more wise way to do it, all right, where it's going to be less painful for yourself, for the people around you, and it's going to create less predicaments furthermore down the road in your distant future. No different than for the example where you do have an ex, and you do have a person and you want to marry, so you force really hard on the how can I place it, on the divorce, and you do the divorce regardless of the circumstances, and suddenly you may find out that you could have struck a better deal if you have waited a little bit longer, all right? So do not be that tempted, to act upon the power that you do have, upon the fateful circumstances that you are creating through the insight of what is substantial for yourself. The accompanied card here is going to be the Star card. So the formation, it is a passive enemies, all right? We do have passive enemies here, and truly this is a prolonged period of time, all right? You don't have to, like I said, exert everything you got right now into this moment. As a matter of fact, you have to be very smart about it, almost surreptitious, if you want to say it that way, so you can make the best out of it, okay? So the other thing is, as we are following the example with the coworker, right? So it comes to you, asks you for a help, but you do have that important project. You simply cannot spare time, or you can spare time, but that will lead to a failure of your project. You may not want to say, well, how can I place it? You don't have to be rude about it, all right? Or you may say that you are gonna take a look at it when you have a time, and probably your coworker will say, okay, man, you got it, and well, they will be tired of waiting and will find someone else to help them, but they're not gonna hold a grudge toward you, while you are gonna say, no, can't you see that I'm busy right now? Go find yourself someone else. Well, that will kind of like make them more hostile to you. It's kind of obvious. So yeah, there is a very finest way how you can take advantage of these accountable things and substantial things for yourself. It's a very difficult reading. I give it that. I mean, it's because it's about a big thing, right? It is a about big thing, and it is a about you making significant progress, and that is in the next card here, which is the Hermit. So the Hermit in a positive aspect points that should you approach all these matters, or the matter which is substantial for you, with a great portion of intelligence, wisdom, and being clever about it, right? Well, that will pretty much grant you I cannot say new beginning, but let's say new direction, the right direction, okay? And additionally to that, the Hermit gives you it gives you time to think about it. Additionally to that, but it is important, guys, in this moment to withdraw yourself from the world and from the ideas of the others. Just find a quiet place, where you can think about it and find the best possible strategy according to the situation, where it does not rely on someone else's condition, or on someone else's judgment, or someone else's performance as well, because there is such a way. After all, we talked about accountability toward oneself and not toward the others. The accompanied card here is going to be the Six of Cups, the formation. It is a passive friends that we do have. So with the Six of Cups, it looks like that should you give yourself the time to exert your wisdom, strategy, and as well intelligence into the matter, well, the whole performance is going to be very pleasant with the Six of Pentacles. Actually, with the Six of Cups, excuse me. Actually, it does look like that you're going to experience a lot of exhilaration moving down the road. Not to mention that you ain't gonna have any regret whatsoever for what you have to do along the way to make that thing you find substantial for yourself reality. All right. So there, as you can see in this reading, Capricorns, there is a lot of conditions that you have to fit in, guys, and it's but like I said, that will happen in a prolonged period of time. You don't, if you feel that it is quite overburdening and that you are bearing a great responsibilities on your shoulders, just take your breath, guys, and withdraw yourself, like I said, from everybody and from everything, just to think about it. And finally, we do have the Guidance, and that will be the Lovers. And the Lovers points that the decision you are about to make, because whatever we talked about here, it all comes to a decision, either how you're gonna do it or should you do it. All right. So the decision that you have to make, you need to know that it's not about doing what is right and what is wrong for the grand scheme of things. It's doing about what is right and what is wrong towards yourself. Know that there is no right or wrong decision here, okay? But you have to bear the consequences of your actions. Following, you help to the coworker and you fail in the project. Well, of course, this coworker will be very appreciative, and you probably are gonna win the friends to your life, but you failed in the project. So you win something and you lose something. It's same thing in the relationships as well. So you have to be ready to make some sort of a sacrifice. Accept it like this. You do have a couple of ways, all right? You do have two ways that you can move on forward with, all right? And you have to choose only the one of them, all right? You cannot afterwards deviate and get the other one, where to have the two destinations completed, you can only have one of these destinations. And that is why it's important here to take your time and decide how you're gonna do it. And the next card, the last card here, it is the Two of Swords, which is the catalyst, active supporters is what we do have here. One card of another card of confirmation that you gotta take your time, because with the Lovers, the Two of Swords points that you need to maintain equilibrium for the time being, for the month of July to scale out all possibilities, you know, all pros and cons of the two paths that you can take, one that is accountable toward yourself and one that is accountable toward the others. Now, you need to know that this reading urges you to take the one that is accountable toward yourself, but sometimes, you know, it's, well, how can I describe it? Sometimes people decide otherwise. You need to know the tarot is not designed to take away your free will. It just tells you, you know, conditions and supposedly what is best for you according to them, but you don't know toward what end that is going to happen. So feel free to make that decision for yourself. At the end of the day, I just know that this is going to be a big month, guys. Probably a quite decisive month where you either, you know, going to, well, it's not either, but it's a month where probably is going to decide your next year or couple of years, maybe your life as well. And you have to approach the situation of a deciding situation with a great amount of, like I said, a self accountability, and as well have the strength to resist the urge to act straight away, because it's a very substantial circumstances, you know, and it's a very, it is kind of like a very important matter, and it has to be attended with appropriate intelligence and wisdom as well. So that being said, Capricorns, this was your monthly tarot reading for July 2019. Big month, guys. Big month is coming for you, and I hope that at the end, the majority of you, I hope that all of you for that matter, ends up very, very happy of how they took on this substantial circumstances for themselves, and that they have made the right choice for themselves, right? Not for the others, not for the situation, but for themselves. So yeah, that was your reading, and I hope that we're going to see each other around. Until then, bye.